What is going on, guys? This is Billy with Billy's Awesome EDC Reviews. I have sitting on the table in front of me 2 Kershaw knives. We will be reviewing one of them, and then we're going to review the other one at a later date. We're going to put that guy to the back really quick. This guy right here, model number, Kershaw Natrix 7007CF. CF standing for carbon fiber. Super excited to have this knife in my possession. I'm gonna give you a little backstory on the whole Natrix model and kind of when these originally came out, and I believe that they came out or they revamped them or whatnot back in 2018 at SHOT Show. I remember watching a ton of reviews on the Natrix series and what they were going to do. I believe the original one was the speed assist or Kershaw's, assisted opening model. This one is running on the KVT, I think that's how you say it. Let me double check. Yeah, KVT, Kershaw's ball bearing system. When this originally, let me back up. When I originally saw the Natrix series, I saw the copper version with the D2 steel. I have this tendency to kind of put knives that I want to purchase on the back burner and maybe save them for just a later date. Like I'll pick it up here next week, or I'll get it maybe if the price is going to be a little bit cheaper. And I completely missed out on the opportunity to purchase the Natrix and the copper and the D2, the D2 steel. So I was a little bit bummed on that. However, I saw this on a knife website, Knife Ship Free, and they had an amazing deal on it. I think I even got a free bottle opener last week when I placed the order with Knife Ship Free. And it arrived at my house maybe 2 or 3 days ago. I have been carrying this thing ever since. Actually, it arrived maybe about 4 or 5 days ago, and I have been carrying this thing ever since. So, an amazing addition to my EDC rotation. And again, Billy's awesome EDC reviews. That's is going to be the main focus. We're going to be reviewing and just kind of going over just some EDC items, just some everyday general use items. I know, because YouTube needs another gear reviewer, right? Well, I think that we're going to have fun. Again, I'm super excited for this, to have this with me. As far as, I'm just going to say it before I open it though, and I have, opened this. I'm just kind of showing you guys what the box and stuff looks like. I have absolutely no regrets on this purchase of this Natrix. And this is a Chinese-made Kershaw. I know a lot of people, they have different opinions on the Kershaw, and whether it be an American-made version or the overseas version, this thing that is in my possession is just top-notch. I really, I couldn't ask for anything better. I think, for the price that we pay, excuse me one second while I get this thing open. I think for the price that I paid, I definitely got my money's worth. The value is completely there. This is what it ships in again. Here's the box. And I actually had this video recorded earlier on, but I guess because I'm so new to posting videos, I said I only had a 15-minute time frame. So I'm trying to do all this and stop the rambling and just get to the, the focal points on this knife. That way you guys can, just check it out. So here it is. The Kershaw Natrix in the blue G10 in carbon fiber. And guys, I can tell you that this thing is absolutely stellar in my book. This is an awesome piece of EDC gear to add to your rotation. I'm going to set this here and I'm going to attempt to maybe zoom in or just kind of focus in a little bit more so you can get an idea on this G10 and this carbon fiber. The G10, in my opinion, I don't think I've ever seen a G10 this color before. I've always seen a bright blue or, a different color blue, and I don't even know what color blue you call this, and this is not doing it any kind of justice, and other than, you looking at this thing in real person or real life. I've heard that the carbon fiber is not true carbon fiber, that it's more of a, what do you call it, a laminate or something like that that just sits over it. I'm not entirely sure, but for this piece, for the price point that it's at, this is fantastic. You really can't ask for, anything better. It's a very classy looking knife. It really, fits the functionality very well for what I'm going to be doing with it. A little backstory, guys, is I am a youth pastor at a local church in my in the town I live in, and for me, I'm not necessarily looking for the most tactical looking knife all the time, although I do own a few tactical, pieces of equipment. Sometimes I'm just trying to tone it down and still have, a decent blade, but maybe on a little bit better approach, a little bit more appropriate, for taking it to church. I took this thing to a funeral 2 days ago, and, nobody knew that I had a knife on me. Nobody probably even cared, to be honest. And I probably would not have any issues bringing this knife out and, doing any kind of EDC task or chores with this knife, just because it doesn't look, it doesn't look scary. It's not overkill. It just looks like a very classy knife, in my opinion. It is, I will say this, nothing is 100%, nothing is perfect. And it does have its quirks, and it does have, I think, to me, it's got more pros than it does cons, though. So this is writing on, let me give you some specs really quick, and I'll tell you what it's, what, maybe a little bit about the action on it. This is writing on the Kershaw KBT ball bearing system. Again, I believe maybe the older models were the speed assist Kershaw models, but this, let me see if I can demonstrate this without, messing anything up. This thing is so smooth, absolutely smooth. I'm not crazy about the speed or the assisted opening knives. This thing to me is, it's all manual. It is just so smooth and so just easy to deploy. It's effortless. There is some quirks. I'm gonna go over those here in 1 second. Let me give you some specs on this really quick. And this is just coming off of the Kershaw website. So the overall length of the knife is 7.50. Blade length 3.25. Blade material is 8 chrome, 13 MOV. Completely adequate, guys. Don't get caught up in knife stills, that it's got to be your super still or anything like that. It's doing, what it's designed to do, and that's just to be an EDC knife. You're going to be, it's not your expensive knife. 8 chrome, 13 MOV is plenty good enough to handle a majority of the jobs. Drop point design, and to me it looks more like a modified, I guess Warncliffe, if you ask me, but it's very classy and sleek, I think. Finish on it is gray. I'm not sure what kind of coating, that DLC coating. I'm not exactly sure what that is. It has got Kershaw's patented sub frame lock design also. So let me kind of give you a little bit of cons, and of course there is more, on the specs on this knife. If you're looking for more than that, just check it out. Look, look on Blade HQ, or I purchased this off of Knife Ships Free, and there's plenty of other specs on there also. Weight, I don't actually have the weight. It says it weighs 2.90. I don't really know, I don't have a scale or anything sitting with me to know if that's true or not. It honestly, it weighs almost nothing. I took this to a funeral the other day, literally forgot I had it with me. And that's just how a knife is kind of designed to be, if you ask me. You put it on there and you need it when you absolutely need it. Other than that, it's just a piece of equipment. It's like a tool sitting in your chest or something like that. Let me kind of give you some cons on this really quick, though. All right, I'm going to put my hand right here, and I want to show you something. I have abnormally huge hands. I wear an extra large glove or extra large in some cases, depending on, what glove I have to wear and stuff. And with this subframe lock, guys, dudes with big hands like me, the only thing that I can say is that if there is any kind of pressure, downward pressure going onto that lock right there and manipulating that detent whatsoever, this thing will not open. And I'm going to try to demonstrate that for you. My middle finger is sitting right there on the frame, and I am not, I'm not torquing down on it whatsoever. I just have my finger rested right there, right? I am pressing on the flipper, and I don't know if you just saw that. That's all it did. It did not open all the way. Very little effort, in manipulating that frame, and this thing will not open. So here's what you have to do, guys. You have to kind of learn how to hold this thing in a different position. And it might be a little bit weird for guys, especially guys like me with big hands, but there cannot be any kind of, pressure on that bar at all, on that lock at all. So you're going to have to learn to basically open this thing. And again, I'm trying to show you without recording on my phone, without, messing this up. But that wasn't a good deployment, but, as long as your finger's off that bar, guys, off that lock, you're going to be fine. I would recommend this. So if you're someone like me and you've got really big hands, maybe if you have a friend that has one, say, hey man, I just want to see how this is going to work for me, because it was kind of a learning curve having to, learn where to put my hands and whatnot. So here's one thing too. This deep carry pocket clip is awesome. I absolutely love that deep carry pocket clip. This falling under the cons category. However, the one thing that I find when you have a deep carry pocket clip is that if you have the ease of pulling it out by a lanyard, it's a lot easier, to get the knife out of your pocket. Now, if you're wearing it like I wore it the other day at a funeral with slacks, it's really not going to be that big of an issue. But when you have this thing in some jeans or, something like that, you kind of have to dig down and pinch it out. I really wish companies, when they put deep carry pocket clips, would kind of find a way to put a lanyard hole. I know people will say that that's the lanyard hole right there. I just don't think that I'm going to use that for what they designed that for. I wish, I don't really know if there is a way. I don't really see a way that you can put, a lanyard on this knife other than that little spot right there. But that's just kind of my, my little quirks on it. Other than that, guys, finish, functionality are amazing. The jimping on this knife, now when you run your thumb downward, it feels like it's almost slick, like it's not there. But when you run your finger up, your thumb up, and you're pointing the knife in the direction that it was designed, your thumb locks into that jimping. And that is a great job. That's the functionality. That is what it was designed for. Great job on that jimping. There is a very little bit of jimping on the flipper itself. I didn't have any sharp edges whatsoever. I know some people say that their detent was really stiff on their Natrix series. Mine is not the case. I'm going to put it right next to, this is my kind of beater knife, my Rat 1. I've had this guy for years. I don't really know if I can get a good, you can definitely tell the Natrix is smaller. As far as handle width, they're almost around the same. A little bit longer on this guy. But the Rat 1, is a more, a beefier knife, I think. It fits people with big hands like me a lot better than the Natrix does. However, with its cons, that is definitely something that it's not an issue for me. I'm not worried about it. I'm not, concerned if my finger does happen to be on that bar, if I'm going to be able to get the blade out. The blade's coming out. It's just not that big of an issue for me. That's really it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't picked one up, I would, suggest go check one out. And we got more knife reviews on the way. You guys take care and have a good day.